Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Wonder Woman Says. We got quite the interesting pair of books for you this time. Turns out we're talking about anti-heroes tonight, and, former villains turn heroes and stuff like that. And wouldn't you know, you're gonna have a real interesting one to get us started. I never thought in my wildest dreams, damn Norman Osborn become a damn good guy. Get his own book too.
He kind of looks like Aztec from DC.
Yeah, he does. I like this cover though, even though I don't know, guys. It take me a while to get used to his new look. Cause I'm so used to seeing him as the Green Goblin.
And now he's one of the Golden Goldies.
Yeah, I know you was talking about. Hey, yeah, I say you probably want to be careful.
I was getting my drink.
Yeah.
I know that was terribly dramatic, but
Yeah.
oh, go on.
Yeah. Anyway, get this little explanation of how things came to be here. It turns out Norman was pretty much, he had an encounter with the. Just give me a few minutes. Like he had an encounter, I think, with the Sin Eater. I think that was his name. The Sin Eater. He had an encounter with them, and Sin Eater is kind of, I guess you say maybe like. They say they somehow took away Norman's sins and like made him like into a reformed person.
Again, this is sounding an awful lot like Jesus. Why are you reading all these Jesus books?
Well, I don't think that's the first person I would equate Norman with.
Well, okay, Moses then, but still.
But yeah, turns out Norman's like running Oscorp now, and Peter Parker's actually working for him too. And like Norman, of course, they kind of working together as as a hero team sometimes too. But as we're gonna find out, Norman, I'm guessing he's with his son or something, and like helping him practice for the Little League. And Norman's, having all these guilt trips about his past and all the things he done as the Green Goblin. Then it's like as he goes to get some ice cream, he gets some green ice cream and pretty much makes them thoughts come to the surface even more.
I mean, he likes pistachio. There's nothing wrong with that.
Then start flashing back to something else he did as the Green Goblin. That he feel guilty for.
And there's Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Or rather, there's a big blurry splotch of light because you're holding it where it's... Okay, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Because then as he keeps, as he continues to like watch the kid practice, he's thinking about all these horrible things he did. And it's like as the kid, practices his bat and he starts thinking about Gwen Stacy. Then as he's on his way back to his office, he just start thinking about like how he was helping Spider-Man stop the Hobgoblin as the Gold Goblin, even though he doesn't want to be referred to as like any kind of goblin anymore. But then we see Peter Parker actually come in and start to tell him how the papers calling him the Gold Goblin. He doesn't like that at all either. Then after Peter Parker leaves, Norman starts getting a visit from like ghost of his former self. And like the Green Goblin tries to tell Norman like how he's always gonna be who he was and how he can't change and how he needs to accept that. But Norman's trying not to give in to that. The Green Goblin, like the ghost of him, is offended by that too.
Too dramatic.
And Norman goes to leave the office for the day.
And Miles is going to feel the sting of the scorpion.
Yeah. But then as he's on the elevator, he starts getting haunted by the ghost of Gwen Stacy. She starts like telling him like how he killed her and all that, how he pretty much like the cause of why she ain't there no more and all that kind of stuff. Of course, all this stuff messing with his mind too.
Mm-hmm. Get it, girl.
And then Norman goes down to where his gold goblin suit is, and you start thinking about like how he still got the urge to go do the kind of things he did as far as like the gliding and all that stuff that he was doing as the Green Goblin.
So it's kind of like when Sting turned heel.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see the jack-o'-lantern. He's like doing some type of black market skeleton smuggling scheme. That's when like the Gold Goblin arrives on the scene to come confront him about that.
This is an episode of Power Rangers, I swear.
He does look like the damn, you remember like the White Ranger from Turbo?
Well, it wasn't the White Ranger when he was with Turbo, but yeah.
Yeah, he do look like him a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it here. This is very cool right here, by the way. Probably the highlight of the whole book,
Actually, I take it back. He does look like Aztec, but that would actually be a pretty cool costume for Booster Gold.
Yeah, it would. I'm surprised DC never tried something like this, this exact design right here before Marvel could. Honestly, because, I've been out of the loop in, Spider-Man comics as of late, except for the few I've reviewed for this show. I was, like, real surprised when I first heard, like, that they actually turned Norman into a good guy. Because, we know him as a villain, like one of the most famous villains of Spider-Man history.
Well, look on the bright side. By being out of the loop, you missed the travesty that was Renew Your Vows.
Oh, wow. Are we talking about, like he tried to, like, go, renew his vows to marry Jane and all that?
Yeah, basically, Marvel got tired of people bitching about one more day, so they said, okay, you want them to still be married? Well, we're going to do an alternate universe story where they stay married, but it leads to the destruction of mankind.
Yeah, that sounds like a little too much right there. But yeah, I didn't know, honestly, when I first saw it, I didn't know what to think, but I was just going to try just out of curiosity alone, because I associate this character with something completely different than what he is here. I'm glad that like it didn't try to like brush off his past, that they actually try to act like he never done any of that stuff, but you kind of see a man that's like really haunted by his past, and he's feeling a whole lot of guilt. He's trying not to, go back to that kind of life anymore.
Alrighty, so out of 10, let's move on.
I probably had to give that one a solid 9. That was a pretty good first issue.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like they really got some potential here. I just hope they don't throw it all away, try to turn him back into a villain.
Oh, they'll have to eventually. Just hope they, wait a while.
Yeah, because I don't want all this to been for nothing.
It's like every time Magneto is turned good, it doesn't last.
Yeah. We know, because, Green Goblin's too famous of a character to do away with like that forever. So, yeah, we know it's going to come, unfortunately. Although they could easily have somebody else take over the character, too. Yeah.
Alrighty, so we've got Man Bat. Let's take a look at that beautiful cover.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a fun fact. This is probably like the fastest canceled series in history. It only lasted 2 issues, and that was it. This was like obviously one of them.
Alright,
Yeah.
I saw a really weird ad on the back. What's that all about?
Oh, like some kind of apple sculpture, they say.
Oh yeah, the Vincent Price Shrunken Head Apple Sculpture Kit.
Yeah, a lot of weird little
Side hustles.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, you don't really see that much these days.
Well, the people who are into carving, shrunken apple heads take things very seriously.
Well, we get a
Too
look,
seriously, if you ask me.
we get a look at this issue's villain Baron Time. He's pretty much gonna get into the mind of Kirk's wife and try to turn her into a vampire bat.
Which would make their sex life even better.
Yeah, it will be interesting. She has no choice but to obey Baron's mind control, where she pretty much flies into a rage and turns into a bat. Not before, like, hitting Kirk. She's gonna head out the window. She's being told to go kill somebody. Kirk's gonna turn back into Man-Bat and try to stop her. Cause I know it's like Man-Bat, hurries after his wife. This is the guy that she's gonna kill.
Why does he have eyes on his shoulders?
Eyes on his shoulder. Yeah, that is a good question. But yeah, he doesn't know what's happening until he looks up and sees weird creatures. Man-Bat and his wife start to fight each other in their bat identities, so to speak, in their creature forms. And she's pretty much still mind controls.
What the hell is this? What to sink your teeth into when you're hungry and you're not a werewolf? Slim Jim.
Yes, I do love some Slim Jims, though, I can't lie.
There are a lot of ads in this issue. Like, so far, literally every other page has been an ad.
You know how 70s, 80s ones too. Yeah, actually really up to like maybe the 2000s, half the comics were advertisements.
And now they're still half ads, but it's just ads for other comics.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something you don't see too much of anymore now, like product placements. But yeah, Man-Bat's able to stop his wife temporarily. He tries to get some information from the man that he thinks he rescued, because something's about to happen.
A thing happening?
Yeah. Like the man started to tell him about, like, how he doesn't really know Baron Time, but he knows somebody else that got the same last name. I think what's his...
Clementine.
Yeah, Clementine, but before he could do anything else...
Clementine?
Yeah, I get it. But his wife gets back up and actually kills the man, though. That greatly disappoints Kurt.
Honey, I told you no more killing.
But then, meanwhile, we see Batman back at his manor. He telling Alfred, he don't want no tea.
I think that's Man-Bat outside.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Man-Bat, Batman's gonna actually get...
Speaking of Man-Bat, Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah, that does sound like a tongue twister. He's gonna actually go after Man-Bat, because he's thinking Man-Bat's behind the killings that he saw on the news.
No, I know you and I are thinking murder is great, but Batman, he's not like that.
Oh yeah, it's another ad you saw so much in these comic books back in the 70s.
The Secret of Touching Yourself.
That would have turned some heads back then. Put that in the book.
I mean, I knew that one already, but
yeah.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
And so are you.
Yeah. Then Batman starts looking for information about what's going on. And he heads off to who he thinks is behind everything. Turns out, like, Man-Bat's at home trying to bring his wife back to her human state. Surprisingly, it actually works too. But unfortunately for him, Batman shows up and tries to stop him. Even though this is like one big misunderstanding. Damn. 1, 2. That's like 4 whole pages of nothing but advertisements that I just skipped through. Then Batman and Man-Bat start to do battle because Man-Bat try to tell him, he's not the one that he's looking for.
And these echolocation attacks look just like Aquaman's doing it.
Yeah. And then Batman keep battling in the sky. But
Man-Bat and Batman battling?
yeah, yeah, it is a lot of words right there. But then, like, Man-Bat breaks free of the thing that Batman had him under. That sends Batman falling.
Why does that kid Superman costume have a burglar mask?
I don't know right there. Obviously, it's very cheaply made considering its price. Can't, cause I mean, $6 is evidently a hell of a lot more money back then than it is now.
See, that's something I never understood about Halloween costumes back then. The Superman costume was a cape and a plastic smock that had a picture of Superman on it that said Superman on it.
Yeah, that is stupid. I know that would raise all kinds of hell today if it was made. Especially how, adamant cosplayers are now.
Although, that in and of itself would be a pretty good cosplay.
It would get a whole hell of a lot of strange looks though. Well, turns out Man-Bat and Batman, solved the misunderstanding. Like, Man-Bat tells Batman he's gonna go after Baron alone. He pretty much telling Man-Bat, not to come with him. Batman actually, lets him go for once.
Oh, we all know him, soft on crime.
Man-Bat goes to the tower that his wife claims she always saw in her dreams lately, when she was starting to be mind controlled by Baron. Baron actually catches him in some tentacles, I guess you could call them. The Baron starts telling him how, like, he summoned this demon. And he was, like, pretty much killing people in exchange for, like, some kind of power. He telling how he's gonna sacrifice Man-Bat as a part of that deal.
Wait, you mean he's trying to get all the sudsy powers of hell?
But yet, like, Man-Bat start to notice how, like, the tentacles actually ain't real, but like Baron somehow has him believing that it's real. He can't break free from it.
So that's like the shadow, kind of.
Yeah. So then Man-Bat actually uses his, like, siren sound to pretty much make Baron just kind of, I guess you could say, like, kind of distract him because he's trying to do the chant to summon the demon. But then meanwhile, a fire starts though as, like, Baron tries to get Man-Bat. But Man-Bat, he tried to rescue him, but the whole place explodes before he could.
Well, no wonder it got canceled after the second issue. It's the Ten-Eyed Man.
But yeah, that's like...
Batman has some lame villains, but he's pretty much bobbing the barrel. Kite Man has more credit than this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like the end of this issue. Man-Bat was, like, pondering, what that fire came from, but he just decided to let it go. Yeah, this is the first of the only 2 issues of the very short-lived Man-Bat series from 1975.
Ten-Eyed Man, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
They couldn't have gotten Crazy Quilt?
I don't really know anything about the Ten-Eyed Man.
Or the Penny Plunderer?
It came at an interesting time. Batman was in a transition away from the, the lighthearted TV show into, like, the darker version of the character we know now.
I'm pretty sure that was that issue right there came out during the 10 years when they stopped using the Joker.
Oh no, actually Batman he referred to the Joker in this issue somewhere.
Oh yeah, he refers to him, but I think from 71 to 78 or something, they stopped using the Joker just so they could rebuild his mystique.
See, I have a world's Actually, not a world's fine. I got a comic book from like in between those years where the Joker is in it though, so I don't think that's true at all.
Well, maybe it wasn't like 10 years, but, he went away for a while.
Yeah, but like, yeah, this is like when I first heard he actually had a solo book. I was amazed. Man, Bat's kind of a complicated character.
No one understands him but his woman,
Yeah.
John Shaft.
But yeah, I always did like Man Bat. It was kind of a, interesting twist, what if Batman was like this, instead of what he actually is.
Only it's not Batman,
Yeah,
and Batman's in it.
yeah, he is. Surprisingly, he doesn't do much either, considering how he makes such a big deal about his guest appearance on the cover.
That's such a Wolverine move.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't try to influence the outcome of this book either.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what can you do?
I have to give this like a 3.5 though. It's pretty good first issue. I don't know what the second issue was like.
Goofy as hell, probably.
Yeah, this book apparently just probably was just doomed back then.
Doomed!
But yeah, I liked it. And then we about to get off now, about to watch Clerks 3. It came out on DVD not very long ago.
I got to see it in theater. She didn't, so she's excited.
Yeah, I did love the first two movies. Took me a long time to see part 2 though. Fun fact, I rented the first movie from the library back in the 90s. So that's how I saw the original.
Fun fact, I rented the original with Monkey Bone, and my parents were out of the house for dinner, and like an idiot, I chose to watch Monkey Bone first, so they came home while I was watching Clerks, and the bad language pissed them off so much they made me stop watching it.
Oh.
I only got as far as Berserker, and he's like, turn that shit off.
Man, they wouldn't have cared in my house. But yeah, classic movie though, for sure.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
I'm about to see part 3 as soon as we get off of here. But remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Well, they can't comment.
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting that.
Well, I forgot last time, so it's fair.
Oh yeah, I will say. Oh yeah, I know I said I was in that magazine, but I'm gonna get that physical copy real soon. I should have it by like one of the next episodes, and you definitely gonna see like me showcase that too before we, getting any more comics on that episode. That's just a special deal for me. My first appearance as a model, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, love, peace, and chicken grease.